Hey everyone, today let's talk about money or the realistic cost of psoriasis treatments and what kind of treatment you can expect if your budget is in the tens, the hundreds, or even the thousands of dollars. Psoriasis treatments cost money and some are much cheaper than others. The prices that I'll be sharing are based on what I have personally paid or checked in Singapore, so depending on where you live or when you're watching this, the numbers might be different. Let's start at the $10 range. This is where most everyday to mid-level topical steroids live. They typically cost a few dollars each, and one tube can last you quite a while, especially if you're using it on and off only and on the smaller affected areas. Another cheap option here is phototherapy. Many years ago when I tried it, each session cost about $7 if I remember correctly. But take note, you have to do it multiple times a week, so the cost adds up over time. Surprisingly, methotrexate also falls under this category. For the pills alone, I paid about $2 a month. Yes, $2. It's not a typo or an error. Methotrexate itself is quite cheap, but the frequent blood tests are what adds to the total cost. For reference, my starting dosage was 7.5 mg per week and later increased to 12.5 mg. At the higher end of this range, you have stronger topical steroids such as Enstella and Devobat. Each cost about $70, but one can last for months, so the value per month is still low. Now we move on to the $100 range, and this is where cyclosporine and some entry-level biologics and biosimilars sit. When I was on cyclosporine, I paid about $100 each month, and my dosage was 250 mg per day. For me, it worked incredibly well, but as I shared in some of my previous videos, my kidney results started drifting outside the normal range, so I had to quickly cut down on dosage, and once I did that, everything went back to normal. Some biosimilars like Angevita can also fall into this range if we factor in the lab test cost. The medication itself plus monitoring combined was similar to what I paid for cyclosporine. Finally, let's talk about the $1,000 range. I personally haven't reached this level, but I did ask about it before. At this price point, you get access to the higher-end biologics like Taltz and Skyrizi, which have some of the highest clinical efficacy among psoriasis treatments today. They work very well, but they come at a cost. When I asked about Taltz previously, it was about $1,000 per injection, and during the loading phase, you need about 4 injections, so the starting cost can be around $4,000 just to start treatment. So yes, psoriasis treatments isn't cheap. And this is one reason why people try to manage it through natural or alternative methods. But just like medication, these approaches have their own pros and cons, and results can vary a lot from person to person. If you are exploring treatment options, it's always a good idea to talk to your dermatologist, understand your budget, and see what is realistic for your own situation.